I went into leadership because it meant so much to my career, just from the folks that I met that encouraged me to not only get involved in the association, but to further my education in economic development. And as a young woman professional and being in my 20s, I really needed to do that. So Martha Schoonmaker, that was with Georgia Tech at the time, she was a great inspiration for going through the Certified Economic Developer exam, and I did that in 2000, and I was still in my 20s, and I felt like I needed to do that so that people understood that I did know economic development, that I was professional even though I looked like I was 12.
GEDA provides that link that we may miss from an academic setting or more a recognized discipline. So GEDA provides that opportunity for us to integrate and to understand our best practices and to learn about new tools in economic development. But beyond that, it's a fundamentally networked profession. And that is the key about it. There is no deal that is done or no activity that occurs in economic development that is done as an individual. And it requires a dynamic interaction with other people, so it isn't necessarily best done through email. So being a part of GEDA has provided that vast network of contacts that can help with technical assistance about detailed projects, but also ways that can help me to understand the bigger picture.
GEDA is about economic development, and it's about friendship. We are good friends, close friends. There's a special bond that happens among economic developers who cooperate every day and compete every day and cooperate every day. So GEDA brings all of that together, and we continuously learn from each other, and we learn from the great speakers and the challenges that we have in front of us and the creation of opportunities as we go forward.
Well, I don't know if you know where Cairo, Georgia is. I felt like the reason that I wanted to be a member of GEDA was to not only further my knowledge of economic development in the state, but to meet people who were going to help our community grow. And at that time, and really still is to this day, GEDA really is the only organization that I know of in our state that offers that opportunity to everybody, whether you live in Cairo, Georgia, or Dalton, Georgia, or wherever. You have an opportunity to belong to an organization that encompasses every part of economic development, and that's very, very helpful in our jobs, in our local jobs.
GEDA has always been important to me because it's like a home to me. It's family, it's friends, it's cohorts, it's associates. It's given me a community, a broad sense of community, through which I can then perform and contribute to my job, my employer, and my own personal need to have some connection to the community and to feel like I'm making a contribution to a better good. So GEDA gives me that home, and some people it's a church, some people it's, I get that at home as well, but at the end of the day, it's GEDA has always been a place.
My first entree with GEDA was GIDA, Georgia Industrial Developers Association, and it was December of 1984. My new boss, George Rogers of the then Georgia Department of Industry, Trade, and Tourism, invited Deborah Lonis and me, the first two women project managers for the state, to go to this luncheon. We didn't know what GIDA was, everybody was talking about, but we said, sure, free lunch is free lunch. And so we walk in. George is the president of GIDA, and they had a series of presentations, and I began to meet people. And some of my colleagues at the Georgia Department of Industry, Trade, and Tourism were very thoughtful. They helped introduce Deborah Lonis and me to the different players, and we were beginning to get a context of, oh my God, how diverse this organization was. I met railroad people, bankers, lawyers, Chamber of Commerce people, certainly power company people, and I was going, oh, so it's a real complex community that helps do this thing called economic development.